Hey TLCers, I think this is my fifth video update regarding either opening the church or closing live services or dealing with COVID-19 dealings in some way. And as I've been watching some of the governor's updates, I found myself saying, "Okay, just give me the bottom line. Just get to the point and let me know what's going to happen next." And so I'm going to take my own advice and just get it out there and tell you that for the next 2 Sundays, we're going to remain online. August 2nd and August 9th will be online services only. On August 11th, your church board will be meeting again, and we will be discussing the possibility of reopening on the 18th or another Sunday in August. And so I want you to hang in there with me. Don't get discouraged. We're getting closer every day to being able to reopen and do so safely. This coming Sunday is our fall life group kickoff, which might sound a little funny since we aren't meeting together, but there are some groups that are starting to meet face to face. There are other groups that are meeting on Zoom, and there are groups that will eventually be meeting in kind of a hybrid situation where some people will be face to face, but you can also join via Zoom and interact with all of the people there, which I think would be a wonderful possibility for some that still feel that it would be unsafe for you to be out and be around, but still be able to interact with your life group. And so we want you to jump in on a life group. Maybe now more than any other time, it's important to be with each other, to push away that anxiety and that depression and that isolation feeling because you just haven't been able to be out. Join a life group, grow in your faith. Don't stand around and wait for something to happen. That's what we tend to want to do, is just say, well, the church will figure it out, or well, eventually the government will figure it out and they'll let us know what to do. You know, the church has always been very resilient. The church has always been very creative in how to manage difficulties in our lives. The church for years and years and years has been persecuted. There have been other pandemics. There have been other things that have come up that have threatened to squelch the church, but the church has always been very resilient. And we want to be that at Turning Leaf and just say, in spite of all that's going on, I'm going to find ways to connect with other people. I'm going to find ways to minister to other people during this time. Remember that the church is not just the building. The church isn't just a location. It isn't just a day or a time of the week. The church is us, and the church can go wherever we go, and we can find ways to be creative and to love each other and minister to each other and be ministered to during this time. I know that the sense of isolation, the struggle with the hot weather that we're in, the lack of activities to do is really weighing heavily on people. And so I want you to do me a favor this week, and I'm going to do it along with you. Every time I think of somebody and just wonder, hey, I wonder how they're doing. I wonder how so-and-so is doing. I'm going to stop, and I'm asking you to stop and either call them, text them, or email them and just say, how are you doing? I miss you. I wish I could be with you. And just have a minute to talk to them and encourage them, and they'll encourage you also. Also, if you're somebody who is dealing with that isolation, you're dealing with that frustration, you're just sick of being in your home, will you call me? I mean it. I want you to call me. My phone number is on our webpage, but if you want to write it down really quick, it's 602-743-3790. And I want you to call me and just say, hey, how are you doing, Pastor Jeff? And I'll stop and talk to you, because there is nothing more important that I could do in my day than to stop and talk with you for a few minutes and encourage you and pray with you, or just have a little bit of fun with you. I want to do that. I want you to feel free to call me. And I may not get to answer that call right at that moment, but if you leave a message, I will call you and we will talk, and it'll be a great time together. I don't care how many people call. I want to talk with you. I want to be with you. So don't be afraid to call. I love every one of you. I know God's going to get us through this. I know that there is a plan in place, and sooner than later, we're going to be able to be back together, and God's going to do some good things in our midst in the process. Have a great day.